Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. I am so excited for today's guest. But before I get there, my name is Cindy with Cindy Rowe Marketing. And we've been doing this show for almost a year. I think it's a year next week or in 2 weeks. But I've been doing it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. But next week, starting in March, gosh, I almost went to April. Starting in March, I'm moving the show till 12:30. So hopefully we can get a little bit more of a live audience. But if not, that's okay because it's available on the replay whenever is convenient for you. So without further ado, hello, Rob. How are you? Thanks
I'm
for
fine.
being patient.
No problem.
Rob, we met, gosh, a couple of years ago. You attended one of my workshops, and I'm excited to have you on my show. Rob, you are the owner of Kegel's Bicycle Shop in Rockford. Welcome. Let us know exactly what Kegel's does.
Um, we are, a bicycle store, of course. We sell service, we sell mainly specialized in Fuji bikes and all kinds of kids and BMX bikes, but we service all kinds of bikes. So whatever you've got, we can fix it.
Awesome. And how long have you been in business? Now, I know the storefront there, I feel like it's been there forever because when I worked in Rockford, I remember driving by it. But yeah, how long have you been there?
Well, I've been here pretty close to 40 years, maybe in that ballpark. I've owned the store for 25 in January. So, and
Awesome.
then we've got records that go back to 1927. So it could be older because Harold Kegel, who started the store, and whenever, I mean, they were tied in with Kegel Harley Davidson. They were brothers. And they, that's the oldest Harley Davidson dealership in the world or country, I guess. And so it could go back even further. But I have solid records that start at 1927. So that's what I say.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to actually ask you if you guys were somehow related with the Harley dealership. Um, so have you been in the same location? Those
It's been in here since about 78, I think, 79, something like that. They were on the corner of State and Madison Street. They owned about where Runner's Image is at in Carlisle. That was their storefront. They owned that whole block. And during
Oh,
the
wow.
the bike boom in the 70s, they occupied most of it.
That's awesome. So, what got you into wanting to be the owner of the business? Now, I assume that you worked there prior, and since you said you've been part of that for 40 years and an owner for 25. So, like, what made you decide to take that leap?
Well, I started, I was just a bike geek, motorcycles, go-karts, bikes when I was a kid. And then, so then I started racing BMX when that first came out. And that was sort of my delve into the store. Then they hired me to run the BMX department. And so then as that grew and then I grew with it, I stayed and things, just grew. And it was just on fire back then. In fact, as if it probably wasn't for BMX in the early 80s, the store would have closed because it was just, it was a big transition, but BMX helped save it. So I've been here a while. Then I actually I quit for a few years, and I worked at the Bullitt Corporation, which is the building you're in now, for
Oh,
like
okay.
for 3 years, and then they kept going through managers at that time, and they called me back and said, we're going to sell in 5 years if you're interested. So I came back to work, and in 5 years when they were ready, we bought the store and been here ever since.
Wow. So, I mean, I, as a little girl, kind of always envisioned myself being a entrepreneur, small business owner. Like that was kind of always in my gut. And it took a long time to take that leap. But is that something that you had in you, or is it just because you had this great opportunity kind of presented to you?
Um, well, I guess I've never looked at it that way because it's been a while. But I had a couple people early on before I had bought the store ask me if I wanted to, partner up and open up a store separately. And at that point, I really wasn't ready. It's pretty young still. And then, so when the opportunity came to buy this one, I just felt comfortable. It was home. I kind of grew up here. Even before I worked here, I hung out here as a kid and bothered these guys all the time. So it was an easy transition.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the transition from employee to owner, like what was probably your biggest shock? Like, oh my God, I didn't think about this, or oh, okay.
Well, I guess I hired some family, and that didn't work out so well. So maybe so advice: don't hire your nephews or your cousins. You had to deal with your sisters at that point. So no, we I guess the biggest thing is just the managing the billing. When you run the store out on the front, because I try to be in the front almost all the time, just dealing with the customers. But then, when the bills start coming due, that takes up a ton of time. So it was learning to manage that, and that was pretty difficult. My wife was a broker at that time, and after a few years, she had quit working, and so she does all that now. So that's lightened my load a lot. And especially as we've computerized, it was all done by, paper before, and now it's all computerized, and it's really made my life much, much easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, something dropped in the background. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, you just built a bike rack.
So the transition was semi smooth, whatever. You realize that, obviously not having family is a good thing, and figuring out the systems to put into place, and as small business owners, we're pulled in so many different directions anyway. But it sounds like you had your focus on your customers a priority, which is really, if we don't have customers, we can't pay the bills. So but what are some of the things that you decided to do differently that was done prior to you owning it?
Well, we do a lot more community outreach than what they never did any before, and I think times have changed, and we've kind of grown with that. But we do a lot of stuff with Rock House Kids and Carpenter's Place. I drew a blank on that one, but we have a bike donation program. So if you have an old bike or you bring one in to trade in, it's not really worth much of value. Some people will just leave it. If they bring in a repair that's going to cost them $200 and they don't want to spend $200 on it, we can turn that bike into something that is transportation for somebody that helps them get to work or make their life easier. And so we do a lot of that. We also partnered with the United Way on their Rolling Strong project. One of my employees, Kevin, spearheads that. And they teach kids that are, I think, 7th and 8th grade age group that are at risk, like maybe their older brothers have been in trouble and these kids aren't yet. And so they'll teach these kids how to work on bikes, and it's more than that, but that's the basis of it. And there's some, obviously more structure there, but we do a lot of that too. And that's actually been on hold since COVID, but that's a phenomenal program.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but the part that really was the worst about that is they were just starting a girls only program right when COVID hit. And so that one is never booted back up. So we're hoping pretty soon that this will happen again.
Yeah, I love that. I love the outreach, and what a great way to, put a positive, thing and attach it to your business, right? Because we're always looking for ways to market ourselves and, be part of the community. And since you've been around for so long, it's almost kind of a natural thing where you connect yourself to a certain organization and take it to the next level and help them in a way. So I love the idea that you help them, especially some of these people, they don't have a way to get to work. They want to get to work, but they don't have that access and the ability. So having a bicycle, as simple as that seems for us, that's a life changer for them. So kudos to you. I really like that you do that. What are some other ways that you've marketed your business?
Well, um, 100 years ago, we used to just do, the newspaper and a little bit of TV and a little bit of radio, and then now that's all that's changed. And then like even the like the phone book, I mean, like that was just a huge money suck, and so that's all changed. So we were doing more like when I came to your class to learn more about social media stuff, and so we're doing more with that, and it's been a little difficult because when COVID happened and, we sold a lot of bikes and they've been hard to get stock replacements. So, if, you're looking for, like we do ladies, stuff at like Mother's Day, and you want to do a ladies promotion. Well, sometimes it's kind of hard because, or this past year, it was hard because, we didn't have a lot of ladies bikes. And,
Right.
so it made it hard. So so we try to just promote stuff that, it is cool, but to concentrate like on a like a category, like a ladies category, something like that, it was really hard. Now this year it's going to be better because stock is much better. Special orders are still really non-existent, but we have the most stock we've had in a couple of years, so that's good.
So I was going to ask you, one of my questions was about COVID and, how that impacted you, because we heard about the bike shortage and, how if you really wanted to get a bike, it was almost near to impossible. So did that, obviously, I'm assuming it impacted you positively at first, but negatively going forward.
Correct. Yeah. We sold like a year's worth of bikes in 4 months when it first happened, which at the end of the summer we were out of bikes and it looked like we were going out of business. But so the stuff trickled in, and so we were able to keep going. Like we had a waiting list too, so people were if we would get 10 bikes in, they didn't last very long because we had people waiting for them. So and it was kind of that way last year. And as the year went on, the floor got more full. But over the winter here, we've had quite a few bikes come in, so we're back to like being a normal bike shop right now. I'm looking forward to the warm weather.
Yeah. Did you have to get creative in the way that you kept your business going during COVID? Like to find other ways to connect with your clients and customers that you've built over the years?
Well, honestly, people were very, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. They understood that, that what happened. So, I mean, like maybe it's on service products. So like, some stuff, we couldn't get some repair parts, and we would just have to put the bike in storage for a month or two till we get the parts. And we really had nobody complain. It was for as bad as the situation was, or could have been, people were very understanding. So it could have been a lot worse, but we just rolled with it. We're easy to get along with.
Yeah, that's great. I know I had my bike serviced with you during COVID. Oh boy, yes. And then I think I rode it twice, and I got a flat tire. It was great. I have the worst luck with tires on cars. I didn't think I would have the worst luck of tires on the bike, but yeah, everybody was getting out and about, which was great because that is, enjoying nature. You know, really helps with a lot of things, including dealing with the stress of COVID. Um, you have other, I see in the background, you have apparel, you have, all the things and tools and everything that everybody needs when they want to do biking. Now, is this for just the casual biker, or are these the hardcore bikers? Who's your real ideal audience that you try to appeal towards?
Well, we consider us a family store. So, mom, pa, just casual cyclists. We do sell some higher end road and mountain equipment that people do race and stuff like that, but for the most part, we're just an everyday shop. Kind of that's what we all are. And I mean, there's shops that you can go into and you can tell that they're all racers. And then and generally that attitude is a little stuffy. And we're just a bunch of guys who ride, and girl. I've got Ashlyn works for me, so we do have girls in here too. And having her in the store has been ideal. I've had 3 girls consistently for the past maybe 10 years, and it just changes the whole dynamic of the store. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. When you can hold on to your staff. So what does it take to keep them and have them for years?
Well, I guess I worked for a couple bosses that weren't real nice guys, so that may have taught me more of a lesson, how to not greet people. So that's probably the best. I just try to treat them with respect. I'm not a micromanager. I have a playlist of what we need done, and as long as it gets done, I'm good with that. And so it keeps my stress level down, and everybody gets along.
Yeah, that's great. I know I worked for a micromanager once and that was not fun. Like I remember at my review time, he would tell me every time I was off of work because of my sick kids, like, and they would say, why? I was like, wow, like if I ever need my kids' medical information, I'm coming to you. It had nothing to do with when you're here, you're a rock star and you put in 110%. But man, those few days that you had to take off because your daughter was sick and that was a different type of micromanager, right? Like he really looked at, your attendance and it wasn't like I was just blowing work off, but man, that that can really dampen the work environment for sure. Or like, how are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Just letting
Um,
them learn and trust that they're going to figure it out or they're going to ask the right questions.
no,
Do
and
you
I always
have a
ask,
big? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and I always ask, if there's a better way that we can do this, I'm open, because my box has been in this building for a long, long time. So sometimes, I mean, there's other ways of doing stuff. I'm not I'm not going to listen to a good idea.
Yeah, I love that too. That's great. Is there? I forgot my question.
Um,
Surprise, surprise. Cindy gets sidetracked. Anyway, but so you have been there for 25 years as the owner. How have you kept it relevant? How do you keep how do you know the right things to purchase or to have in your store? Like what does that take for you to keep everything, relevant with the big stores or your competition?
well, I'm always, watching, looking, and then, you know, as the internet and social media has grown, that window of planning has shortened dramatically. We used to go to
Mhm.
a show in the fall, and then you would buy for spring. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, it's I mean, we still have to plan out 6 or 8 months, um, but sometimes what school last summer is not this. So it's and then, well, like the clothing behind us, that's clothing is super finicky. So you've just got to be on top of colorways, and watching social media is really a great way to do it. I love Instagram. Instagram is the bomb.
Yeah. Have you done any TikToks?
I think I'm too old for that. I have not. I need to get an account just so nobody steals it from me, but I have not done any TikToks. I don't dance.
How about have you done an Instagram reel?
Yes, yes. Is that
Yeah.
is that the live feed?
No. No, Instagram reel is similar to TikTok, but it's just
Okay.
on Instagram.
Well, then I don't know. I'd have to talk to Ashlyn. Maybe we have,
I'm gonna have to check your account out, but
Okay, okay.
but
She's younger and way
but
hipper than I am. So
but that's great that you have the resources that you're able to tap into a different demographic and reach out to a broader audience, or to maybe tap into that younger audience. I like that. With Well, my next question is, is marketing do you create a marketing plan every year? Do you create a business plan every year? That's not something that I typically ask, but I always wonder, because as small businesses, like I said earlier, we have so many things on our plate, but do you actually take the time and like have a marketing strategy in place?
yes. Um, yes, we do. So what's it, 22? So 2020 was the last time that we sort of had that planned, and then that fell apart. So then last year we didn't do it at all. We just kind of rolled with whatever happened. This year we sat down. We plan to have a spring little promotion in the spring, and then we always try to do something at Mother's Day. So we will plan some stuff out where like the past year and a half that just hasn't been possible. So yes, we do have a schedule of stuff we do follow.
Well, what about well, I sometimes ask this question, a big success story that you've had, like something that you're super proud of since you became the owner 25 years ago. Like, I did that. I mean, we can pat yourself on the back,
Well,
it's important.
we have won. I'm looking at what it is. America's Best Bike Shop Award. We've run that. I don't know. I think 6 times in the past 8, 7. We've only missed 1 or 2 years. So it's a category. It's not just me that wins it, but it's you have to meet certain criteria, and we've won that like I think 6 of the past 8 years, and most of those have been in a row. So that's kind of cool. I mean, we're doing something right in that respect. I don't like to pat myself on the back, but yeah. But what I do like too is kind of a legacy story. You've been around forever, and I'm kicking myself. I didn't get a photo of this, but there was a grandfather that came down from Minneapolis with his son, and then they were buying the grandson a bike because they had all got their first bikes from us. And I can't believe that I didn't get that photo. And we talked about it, that what was happening. And if they were gone 10 minutes, I go, what am I doing? So, but I think stuff like that is really awesome.
That's a really cool story. And obviously it made an impact in him that he felt like he wanted to come back and make sure that, his grandson had a bike there. Or from there. That's cool. So along with success, there's always failure. So what's one big lesson that you've learned along the way that could help out another business owner?
Watch what you spend. I mean, that that's really, I've never, I've never really had to borrow money to, but it came close a couple times because you just spend and go, and then all of a sudden, end of the summer rolls around and you still owe a ton of money, and that's really my biggest I would say downfall is you get overzealous, when things are rolling great and then all of a sudden, whoops. So that you just watch your finances.
Yeah, and it helps to have somebody there that understands it a little bit better. I know I don't. That's like the one thing that I hate, like to deal with, to like take the mental time out of my day and deal with expenses and stuff, and I always put it off until I can't put it off anymore. And then I get ticked off that I've waited so long. It's a never-ending cycle. And I try to tell myself I'm going to change, but I don't, because I absolutely hate it. And I wish I had somebody on staff.
Well, it's made my life so much easier.
Yeah. Well, and you have much larger expenses and money coming in and out than I have to deal with, but which is why it's silly that I put it off. Like, and I say that every single time. Like, I don't have a lot of expenses. I don't have all this like ebb and flow of the income. It's just, I just don't like to deal with it. It's not the fun, creative stuff. So,
No, exactly.
so before we get to the end of the show, it always goes so fast, and I really enjoyed our conversation. But like, what's your favorite part of owning the bike shop?
Yeah, I like when. Well, I mean, I like coming to work. I mean, um, it's a good job to have. I mean, it's people are generally in a good mood when they come here. They want to have fun. That's why they're buying a bike. And but my biggest, I like to see when somebody has bought a bike and they you've either lost a bunch of weight or they've gotten healthy because of it. They're off their meds. I think that's the best. I mean that's I'm not a doctor, but I just love when that stuff happens. And when they will share that success story with you. I'm sure there's more than I know, but I've heard a few, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great that you're part of their journey, makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Is Kevin still working there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yay. Hi, Kevin. You have to tell him I said hello.
He was the one that made all the noise a little while ago.
So yeah, Kevin and I were spin instructors at the Y together. So, and I haven't been back since COVID, or at least teaching. I don't know if he still is part of that or not, but yeah, he's a good dude and he loves his bikes. And that was somebody that we could really rely on for, helping service our spin bikes back in the day. So please tell him I said hello.
I'll do it.
But so this is the part of the show where I toss it back to you to promote your business. However, I will put up some of the ways that people can find you, but floor is yours. Take it away, Rob.
Well, we're at Kegel's Bicycle Store, 2605 Charles Rockford. We're right across from the Schnucks and the McDonald's. I'd love to go over there, but we're on Instagram, of course, at Kegel's Bikes, and Facebook at Kegel's, I think, _ bikes. I'm not sure. If you Google it, it'll come up. And then we'll probably get to talk to Cindy and get a TikTok. I don't know.
Great. Do you have any advice or anything that you'd like to share about somebody that's looking for a bike or anything like that?
Well, whether you buy a bike from us or not, of course we would like you to, but buy it from a bike store versus a big box store. You'll get a much better product, much better service, and a better warranty. And you'll get a bike that fits you. And fitting is more than anything. You want a bike that fits you, because if you get a bike that is the wrong size, you'll never ride it, and that's why you don't like biking. So you get a bike that fits, and it makes all the difference in the world. So buy it from a bike shop.
Yeah, I agree, and support the small businesses. I will have to say, when I took my bike into service at your place, so I hadn't ridden it in a couple of years. It was in my garage, and what else was I supposed to do when the world shut down? So I wanted to ride my bike, and my seat was like, I just wanted, I don't even know, the chains oiled, like just cleaned it up, but my seat was in poor shape, but although you really couldn't tell it like to the regular eye, I guess I should say. But you guys called me and said, hey, you'd probably have a much better ride if you got a different seat. And I never felt like, wow, they're just trying to get extra money off me. Like, you literally cared that I was going to have the best experience when I got my bike back. And you can't get that from a big box store. Like, they're just going to do the order. They're not thinking about, how can I make sure that she's going to love her bike even more when she gets it, back from us. So I do appreciate that. So
thank you.
And I do ride it a little bit more now. Well, not now. I rode it quite a bit this past summer, so I'm glad to have it back. Well, thank you so much, Rob. It was a pleasure. If you guys want to check them out, I have their website. I have the phone number if you need to give them a call. Let me put up their um, Facebook and Instagram. You can catch them out there. But yeah, watch their page. They have some cool apparel if you're into to biking too. They have some really cool 815 apparel. And yeah, all those fun things that a biker needs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us again. Tune in next week at 12:30. Bye for now.
Thank you.